Hi, everybody. Thank you for stopping by Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 13, called The Ugly Truth. Before I get started with the review, please like, share, and comment on the video at the end. And I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's get started with the review. First couple will be Ben and Morgan. Dr. Pepper stops by to visit the couple. At the start of the conversation, the episode, or their segment, Ben told the cameras that he's willing to work on the marriage because if it fails, it will disappoint his parents, especially his father. He doesn't want to be divorced because it looks bad in his parents' eyes, who are very, very strict with Ben, or have been strict with Ben. He's a grown man now, but your childhood, your upbringing can still affect you in your adulthood, and being treated that way, you have to be successful in everything you do, be number one, and being a divorcee would just reflect badly on the family. During the meeting, Dr. Pepper mentions that Ben was judgmental regarding Morgan, especially her working license and degree for nursing. Then we have a break in the programming, and we see Morgan in a confessional with her camera showing that her license can be found on the internet. It's Googleable, and it's free to find and search that she is licensed to be an RN. Can you finally let it go? She was talking to Dr. Pepper, and she mentioned that she feels that she didn't get a sincere apology. Apparently, she feels that the apologies that Ben has been giving her were prompted, and she never felt them. They didn't feel real to her. And Ben also talked about being not being in touch with his emotions, and that's due to his upbringing, and he runs away from his problems. And I don't know, I felt that he did give a sincere apology. He even, it seems like he could express it in his facial expressions. He seemed hurt, he seemed scared, and she didn't feel any of that. She couldn't sense any of that. Basically, Morgan said that the relationship, it couldn't be salvaged, basically, and that her decision day was that day. It was over. And Ben looked sad, but then he said he wanted a divorce. He needs to work on himself, and he will be the first person in his family to be divorced. And I know that's going to be hard on Ben, and I feel for him, and I know that he'll grow from this and he'll be a better person. He didn't need someone like her in his life. He'll find somebody else, and somebody who is worthy of him. And I can't wait to see that. Good luck to you, Ben. And so long, hopefully forever, Morgan. She just wanted to put on a show. Okay, the next couple is Lindy and Miguel. Lindy and Miguel return their little fake baby. They put it in the bassinet and put it outside their door like a UPS pickup. Uh, I'm not sure about Lindy's mothering skills. When Miguel did all the work, maybe she would be different if it was an actual real baby. The two went axe throwing. Lindy was great. She seemed to have a real good technique to be successful at axe throwing. Miguel wasn't successful. He sucked. But he wasn't a sore loser because he feels like he's an overall winner. I think being with Lindy, I think he's in love. They talked about a loveless marriage, and he said he couldn't stay in a loveless marriage. But Lindy seems to think that she would stay because she thinks that you could find love again. She just seems like a hopeless romantic. Lindy's friend talked to Miguel. Her name was Stephanie. And Stephanie talked about how she's known Lindy for a long time. She has seen her hangry. When she's hungry and it makes her mad. Miguel hasn't seen it. Now he's thinking that maybe he hasn't seen it because he's constantly feeding her, and we always see he's making food and she's enjoying it. Or maybe because she's just in love, that she hasn't experienced that emotion because she's too busy experiencing other emotions. They talked about her going from A to Z. When something happens, she just takes off. They showed clips of her just getting frazzled real quick about things. She needs to just slow down and think things over a little bit before reacting so drastically about things. Her friend says she just needs reassurance, and that's good to know. Maybe she does. Maybe she just needs reassurance. Miguel should try that, but he doesn't want to be censored, he says, because that might be a problem. That's just not how he wants to live, and I get that. He also sees a pattern in her negativity, and that's not going to be. He's not going to be able to sustain that in the long run. Her being negative about every little thing. They showed production showed past clips of her being negative about every little thing, being nitpicky. And now Lindy was in the confessional, and I think she was in the confessional, but she definitely said that being negative is deeply a part of her. So you recognize it and you just don't do anything about it. But you got to be around someone who's truly positive, and he can, detect that negativity quickly, and it brings him down. It brings the mood down. He can see, because he's already, I think this guy is just, I think he's the best husband on the show. I think he deals with neuroscience, so he probably gets the brain and the emotions and cause and effect. And I think he is better, and I'm sure he wants better for Lindy. That's very interesting. She can recognize it in herself, though, so she knows where she can start working on herself. Okay, the next couple. The next couple is Stasha and Nate. Stasha and Nate meet with Pastor Cal. When they first greet him, Stasha notices that Pastor Cal matches her. He's wearing a soft pink tie, and she's wearing pink pants. She's always a fashionista. They discussed, Pastor Cal mentioned that he was embarrassed to see the scenes of their sex life. I guess that is too much. And Pastor Cal's right. That's more than we've ever seen on Married at First Sight. But they're going there. Stasha talks about her unconditional love for Nate. She shows him unconditional love, which is cool. And I guess she's not really getting that back from him. She said that she loves him, but he hasn't told her that. Though he says that, later he says that he feels that he stops himself from saying it. Stasha mentioned that she cheated on someone 10 years ago. And I think Nate is going to use that against her. That's going to be his leverage for everything, that she cheated before. Like, it's no big deal. 10 years ago, she's 37, she was 27. She hasn't cheated with anybody since. She was honest about it. And you can grow as a person. but I think he's just going to use it against her. Later, Nate met up with Stasha's friend Aja, I believe, and her cousin Tamika, and he told them that, things are going good. There's an upside potential to their relationship. What, cha-ching? He said that Stasha mentioned that she cheated on someone before, and that triggered him. And her cousin says, is it hard to accept her at face value because she cheated? I think he just wants to find a weak spot in her and use it against her. I just can't believe that is so concerning to him, having her cheating on someone 10 years ago. I just think he's going to keep that in the back of his pocket. He's going to make a big deal of it when it's useful for him. And I don't understand. They were saying, he was saying trust was a big issue. She doesn't trust him. And how does Stasha love somebody she doesn't trust? Is she just desperate? He doesn't know her fully. It's only been 5 weeks of their marriage. And her cousin was saying, well, be curious. It's okay to be curious. You are discovering her and learning about her as she is to you. So just be curious. I thought that was good advice for him. Let's see if he uses it. Stasha meets with Nate's friends, Willie and George, and she told them that he has stopped himself from saying I love you. She said it, but he stops himself from saying it. And his friend George says he needs to feel that a person is all in, and then maybe he can give of himself, loosen up, and be all in also in the relationship. Kind of makes sense. George has known him since he was a young kid. And with Nate's abandonment issues with his mother, that would make sense that he could never fully love someone, a woman. He hasn't seen that. Someone fully loving him, a woman fully loving him. So I can see how he might have trust issues. Actually, I'm surprised he's all in. You fully trust somebody that you don't know. If they're only here for 5 weeks, it's easy for them to walk away. I wonder why he doesn't seem to have trust issues about that. Interesting. Okay, so let's go on to the next couple. Okay, the next couple will be Justin and Alexis. Justin meets with Will, Alexis's friend. Will thinks that both Alexis and Justin are scared. He sees them entering this marriage and just being scared. And I'm glad, I hope that person, what's his name, Will, told that to Alexis, because maybe she needs to hear that from somebody else, a friend, somebody she trusts. Maybe she's just scared. I just don't think she likes him, but Justin is definitely scared. Later, Justin and Alexis meets up with Devon Franklin, the new expert on the show. And I'm not sure how Alexis would really feel about him counseling her on her marriage when he is recently divorced. I wonder, no, it seems like she would have something to say about that. Just the kind of person she is. However, she did look at him like she was kind of interested. She's looking at him like he was, a snack. In the conversation, Alexis says that she feels smothered by Justin. I can see that. And then she mentions being controlled, like he's controlling her. I don't see that. And Justin, he didn't really realize he was being controlling. I don't think maybe he sees it. But insecurities, yeah, I definitely see that. And you can see why he has them. I mean, being 7 foot tall, being very skinny, just really standing out, the center of the attention all the time. What if you don't want to be the center of attention? So I can see his insecurities, probably been made fun of. But controlling, no. And in their conversation with Devon Franklin, Alexis wants to be dominated. She wants to be dominated by a man. She wants to be dominated by Justin. She's a very dominant person, but definitely, I guess, intimately, she wants to be dominated. And Justin would give that type of attention or that energy if he thinks that it would be received right. I don't know how dominant Justin can be. I mean, I really shouldn't sit here and imagine it, but I just don't see it. And I see she's going to need someone who can dominate her. Anyway, Devon Franklin, what I thought about him. Not a fan. Not a fan. I don't like that he's recently divorced. I think that's the main reason why I'm not a fan. But when he was on this scene, he was doing too much, I thought. I thought he was using black vernacular with the couple. They weren't reciprocating with that. They were very serious in what we saw in their meeting. And I thought he was just doing it in the mannerisms a little too much. I think he's trying to fit in, be cool, be entertaining. And I thought, you know what? This is not what we need. This is not what we need. I thought he was just doing too much of that. And also, I thought he was a little preachy in the way he was delivering messages. And that's not what we need, and I don't want to see that. He's going to have to make some changes if he's going to stick around. I hope they gave him some notes on that. Okay, so the next couple, let's see. Okay, the last couple is Kristen and Mitch. Kristen meets up with Stephanie, who is Mitch's sister-in-law, the one that they bumped heads early in their relationship of knowing each other. And she was a really pretty lady and a real confident lady. And she's a great person for Kristen to speak to about Mitch. She said that she had their issues early on. It seems like Mitch was doing too much in her household regarding the way she recycles. You know, she does her part for the most part, but she's not like him. And she had to get it through his thick skull what she was going to do. Like they used Pampers instead of cloth diapers. Her right to do that. It's whatever she wants to do. And I think they're in a good place. So Mitch needs a good, stern talking to that he is not going to be changing people's minds overnight. If you want to recycle, recycle. And if the next person doesn't want to, that's their business. If they don't change by what and how you're going about recycling, then leave it alone. They don't want to be preached to. Get that through your thick skull. They had a meeting with Dr. Pepper. And Kristen, you know, she wanted to have this setting where she could speak on some things that she's feeling hard to bring up to Mitch. One of them was ice lattes. Mitch is has a problem with that because, well, as long as she uses a reusable cup, you know, that would irritate me too. Do what you want to do, and someone's going to stop you the way you drink your coffee or have something to say about it. You're too close. Mind your business. Oh my goodness. She also mentioned they had an unsolvable disagreement or unsolved disagreement, and that was regarding house flipping. She wants to do house flipping and make a home nice, turn something that's doesn't look that nice and make it nicer. And yeah, you're going to make a profit. You're not going to do it for free, but you're doing it to benefit, the next owners and the property value. She's not looking to, you know, no predatory lending. There's nothing she's doing to hurt a community. He's making a big thing out of it. Dr. Pepper says, don't put the whole big picture of, the world's problems on Kristen's shoulder. He needs to look at it differently. People do need a home. Things do get run down, and there's someone to build it. It's just a way to make money and do something nice. And I think it's a big ask for him to ask her not to do that. That's a big ask. It's too big. Kristen was talking about how she relates to people. She feels the synergy and friendship, and she's trusting, she's good natured, and she senses Mitch's contrarianism, and it affects her. Again, I guess that negativity is bothersome, especially when it's persistent. And has issues about not being the person that he wanted, because early on he wasn't attracted to her. And now she's thinking, is he what I want? I'm glad she's thinking of herself, because you're in a marriage. You're going to have to live this life next to the person. They're not going to feel your feels. And if you're feeling neglected or unappreciated or undesirable, that's going to affect the relationship, and you not being able to speak or feeling that you can't speak. That's going to be a problem too. Dr. Pepper said, you can't fulfill everybody's list of what they wanted in a partner, their dream. I mean, it would be great in a perfect world to get everything that you want, but people that are always looking for people to check off all the boxes, those are the people that stay single. It's just something you have to work at, basically. And she's got a commitment, Dr. Pepper, from the two, that they're committed to falling in love. Later at their apartment, they were eating spaghetti. And Mitch, the way he ate his spaghetti, all that slurping going on, oh my goodness. You could see Kristen's eyes are bugging out in annoyance about how he's eating his food. And she even brought it up. Do you always eat like that? And then she kind of gave him a pass in the confessionals, talking about that maybe he was just hungry. Don't give him a pass on things. They talked about recycling and some of the things that he, how he lives. He lives with no paper towels. He lives with cloth towels only, and he washes them, but she doesn't want to be the one who's doing all the washing. I think she feels that she's going to have to do all the work in supporting him in being an environmentalist. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, not one day. What he didn't bring up in the meeting with Dr. Pepper, that he said in his confessionals, is that he would like for her to look more natural, less makeup, her hair natural. He's more attracted to her that way. And he had a FaceTime meeting with Kristen's sister, Rachel, and he brought that up. First, I want to say Rachel and Kristen sound exactly alike. Freaky levels. They just sound like, I couldn't tell them. When they panned away and her voice was playing and we're looking at Mitch's face, it sounded just like Kristen. Even her mannerisms, her yeah, right, all that she was doing, just like her sister. Exactly. It was just weird. Anyway, interesting weird. Mitch brought up in their conversation that he wants to know what is the best approach to talk to Kristen about being more natural, wearing less makeup, wearing her hair wavy. And that's a strong topic. Rachel said that Kristen, she puts a lot of effort into her look. She wants to look nice. She's not just looking nice for you. She's looking nice for herself too. So I guess he didn't get the guidance that he was looking for when talking to his new sister-in-law. Okay, that was it for that couple. So let's talk about, the group. Okay, in the group scene, the whole group got together. Even Ben and Morgan, they came separately, but they were all at their pool having some food. I think it was Miguel that was cooking. They were playing around. Kristen talks to Morgan a little bit about how she got some disturbing news about Mitch, talking to her sister, wanting her to look more natural. And, well, she just says she's going to stand up for herself, basically, that she is not just going to do what somebody else wants. She's kind of got her balls about herself, and she is going to look after herself, and Morgan was just encouraging in that way. They all sit around and they're talking, and Ben and Morgan said they are no longer together, which is clear, but that they're going to go ahead and get a divorce. And Alexis' eyes just bugged out because she had a part to play in that, unfortunately. And Morgan says that when asked if there will be a friendship between the two, she said no. There's no trust. If you're going to have a friend, you got to trust your friend. Ben, on the other hand, was saying he was willing to be friends. In the confessional, he says Morgan needs to let this go, or she won't grow, she won't get better for her future relationships. And he's right. Alexis and Justin talked about, Alexis talked about her wanting a dominant man. And they were talking about appearances, and Kristen was saying he's looking for a person with no makeup, or wants her to have no makeup, be more natural. And I have to say, on Mitch's side, that's a good thing, that they love you in your rawest form. They love you as you. But I think that's all he was saying. But she sees it as him wanting to change her again. And she's had enough of him trying to control her and change her. So, and that's not what she wants to do, dress down or whatever. And so she's seeing it totally different. That's what I think. All this paper towels, recycling, flipping houses, every little thing she does. And now he wants her no makeup, which is a good thing. But again, he's trying to change her, and she has just had enough. Just enough. She was saying things like, she was questioning herself. She's confused. Can I be Mitch's wife? And then she thought, maybe he's not what I want. And she also said, and whatever this is, can it be fixed in 2 weeks before decision day? Well, the experts bust in, and we're talking to Kristen, and they wanted to get. They were just talking, and she was telling them how he is. There was an issue about him not being attracted to her early on when they first met, and that affected her. Of course, she took it on the chin, and which is great, but goodness, that did hurt. It hurt just to hear. And she says she's just been embarrassed. She's just embarrassing how he has been treating her, and that she's allowed herself to be treated. Someone talking about your looks like this in this open forum on TV. This hurts. And she just took in too much and didn't allow herself to be herself, and she's just blowing up. She just can't handle it anymore. She needs to get back to herself, or that type of relationship will never work. Alexis says, yeah, it's terrible that you don't want someone to be halfway attracted to you. And they both said, Mitch needs somebody with dirty feet at the same time. Oh my God. You know what? And he would be happy with that. That would be right up his alley. He wouldn't complain. Live in a dirty house while you're trying to clean up the world. Oh my goodness. But I can see how Mitch is confused because he's thinking, I love you for you. I love you with no makeup. I love you however your hair turns out, however your face is, with nothing on it. I love you. I'm attracted to you is what he's trying to say. And I think he's so confused by that. He probably thinks a woman kind of wants to hear that. But then again, he was timid to tell her. So maybe he knew she didn't want to hear it, or, Mitch, that's not the hill you want to die on. Oh, it was so sad to see Kristen hurt. She was raw. She was vulnerable. And it was sad because it hurts, to be talked about. But hopefully they can get over this. I hope she can get past this. They can get past this as a couple and work something out. He has to change, a consistent change in order for that to happen. But that was it for now. They're going to go on the couples retreat next week, so maybe some dramatic things will happen. We'll see. But that's it for now. Thank you for staying to the end. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. But I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.